Good day everybody and welcome to another video of Rugby Chats with Angus. In this video, I will be talking about the Springboks and whether or not they should be partaking in the 2020 Rugby Championship. Now, Director of Rugby, Rassie Erasmus, said that he might use this Rugby Championship as a bit of a building block session, so to say, towards the Lions Tour. So he will give a lot of inexperienced guys a bit of a run in the Springbok jersey. So I would assume that it's most likely guys that has been, in very good form, capped or uncapped. And I've made a list of a couple of players that have represented the Boks before, and those who might, get the first taste of the green and gold jersey. But as I made this list, I kind of had a thought that, or something, I actually a thought crossed my mind that the Boks are basically back in 2018. And the reason I'm saying this is because in 2018, there was a lot of unknown elements. We were languishing, I think about 7th in the world at a point in time. And Rassie Erasmus came in as new coach. Now, the only difference is about 2018 and 2020. Back then, they were, bottom dwellers in the world rankings, and this time around, they're number one and world champions. So I think the pressure, for one, is even bigger now because I think it's a bit better if you are not given a chance at all and you actually perform, as opposed to being at the top and you don't perform. So there's a lot of things expected of the Boks, and the New Zealanders love saying, well, you guys didn't beat us, so you can't be called world champions. Well, they lost to England, so I'm not going to even justify that sort of comments. But nonetheless, we are going to hear it, if we should lose the championship or even lose twice to New Zealand, depending on the format of the championship. Now, it is scheduled to start, let me just double check for you guys, from the 7th of November till the 12th, or is it now the 16th? No, the 12th of December. Now, the big concern for the Bok management and coaching group is that, the guys might not have enough time to prepare, enough match fitness, and that is totally understandable because, if you have to go fly over, be put in quarantine, it can make life difficult for you if you just have wanted to Currie Cup or Super Rugby SA matches behind your back, especially for the top guys. And we've seen guys in the European leagues who hasn't played for, well, since forever, and now they start getting injured. We talk about Andre Pollard is out definitely for a good couple of months. And if things go badly for him, he might miss the Lions Tour. Same counts for RG Snyman, as well as Eben Etzebeth. Although I think he might be recovering a bit sooner than those guys. He only has a rib injury. And so we have a bit of a crisis at lock. But that obviously gives the door for many others to be blooded in. And the depth of our overseas box, will be quite vital as well. Now, I've made this list of bolters and returnees, and you guys let me know what you think, because these are the players that might add a lot of value to the Springbok side. So I'll start off with the bolters. These are the guys that haven't had a taste of Test rugby as of yet. Some guys have been in training camps with the Boks, but these guys could make their debut. And I know you guys see that flag hanging over there. And unfortunately, for the haters, I'm going to mention a lot of these guys' names, but it's nothing to do with any sort of bias. It is merely what I've seen on performances and the talent that I do know we have at our disposal. So, when it comes to bolters, I'm going to start at, there's no hookers, or there's actually one hooker actually, Joseph Dweba. I'll start with him. And then we'll go to the locks. It is JD Schikkeling, Salman Murad, and the Sharks, Ruben van Heerden. And to the back row, it's Jaco Coetzee and John Augustus. Those are two guys I feel can be at the Boks for a very long time. Especially Jano. We don't know how much we have left of Vermeulen. I kind of feel that this pandemic sort of prolonged some guys' careers, and it might be a good thing going ahead to the Lions Tour and even maybe the next World Cup. Vermeulen might have a bit of extra kilos on the clock, but we don't know what the future may hold. Injuries are a thing with age, getting to guys, and we might need to blood these guys sooner or later. This might be the golden opportunity. So it's kind of like, building again. Like I said, 2018, you're back in 2018 again. You will lose a couple of matches along the way. There will be a lot of criticism, but if you have to see the bigger picture, if we win a Lions series next year and win another World Cup in 2023, then we will complain. No one will. As well as the other names that I've dotted down is Sadele Nohamba of the Sharks, the scrum half. In the center position, I have Ruan Nel, and then fullback Apelele Fassi, and maybe an outside chance for Tyrone Green. He has been good for the Lions, but I feel he has a lot of work-ons to still deal with, but he's definitely a very exciting prospect, obviously. Having now made the move overseas to, I think it's Harlequins. So, yeah, I haven't seen him play yet, but I'm pretty sure he's doing well for himself over there. And the Bok returnees, I think these guys especially, they will be in the front line, the props, that is now. And especially a guy like Austin Che with the retiring Vicente Warira, or the retired Vicente Warira, I should say. And Ox has been doing well with the Sharks, filling the boots of the big man. So I think definitely he'll be a front runner for that position, apart from Steven Kurtzhoff being the first choice now, I would imagine. Just by the way, I haven't mentioned this to you guys. So all these guys mentioned here are guys who didn't feature in the 2019 World Cup. Sorry, I almost said 2023. Getting ahead of myself there. But all these guys I'm mentioning here, they didn't partake, in that 2019 World Cup squad. So if you miss any names and they were in the squad, just know that I feel they might be or might not be added. Because I kind of get the sense that they might wrap some guys in cotton wool and let them play in next year's competition, be it the Pro 18 or Super Rugby should continue next year. We don't know what next year holds, but definitely I think some guys, like Sia Kulisi, for instance, the captain, they'll be putting cotton wool definitely. Some other guys as well. I'm not sure who else, but I don't think they'll send every single Springbok player out there who played in the World Cup final, although they all might be available. They might have a bit of a balancing act. And in saying that, they might even take a very big squad because of injuries that can occur. And you don't want the situation where a guy, gets injured and you have to fly someone in, has to be put in quarantine for 2 weeks before he can play. And before you know it, he might play one match or even miss the whole championship. It could be totally a silly thing, really, So, yeah, I think they might have to take a very big squad, over to Australia for the championship. And it might be a squad of 46 players. It could be bigger than a World Cup squad because of, the unique situation we find ourselves in. Anyway, back to the list. So the returnees, like I said, is Austin Che. Quinny Oosthuizen, apparently, according to the Cell Sharks boss, will be included. So yeah, I'm not quite convinced on Quinny, to be honest. I mean, he's a big machine, but he's a bit of a scrum penalty machine as well. So I'm not a big fan of him, especially if you think about the guys we have to our disposal. Guys like Francie. Another name is Wilco Low. Guys who doesn't always concede penalties. And this I understand that the need for depth, like I said, but yeah, I'm not too keen on Kuni. Trevor is obviously there as well. I think the B plus for Kuni is he can play both sides. But there's always a Thomas Dutoy as well in the group as well. So yeah, I don't see the need for Kuni, but the selectors, they know what they're doing and I don't. I'm just a guy talking nonsense in front of a camera. So it's not my choice, not my call, but I'm just saying what I feel. That's why I do these things. Liso Kaboka, I feel like he's a bit on the oldish side, you can say, when it comes to his debut or when he made his debut, but he can still add some good value to the box. And then to the hooker position, a good return maybe for Armand or Akker van der Merwe, as he's lovingly known. And Skyline Tubeni can make another appearance in the green and gold jersey, adding to his solitary test cap. And at lock we have a bit of a crisis at the moment, and I've mentioned JD Salmon and Ruben, but one would think that the front runners now is definitely Marvin Uri and Jason Jenkins, who's now back at the Bulls. Marvin especially, Marvin has been a fringe player in the World Cup squad, and Reinhard Elstad could also fill the lock role as he has with the Stormers, back in the day. But I feel Marvin Uri is definitely the guy that's a front runner now for the number 5 jersey at the box. And I always tell people, Marvin is the kind of guy, he's not the flashiest, not the biggest or anything, but he's definitely a safe player. He makes his tackles, he wins his lineouts, he does his primary job for a lock well. And I think that's what the box, see in him. He brings that sort of value. He's just going to be that safe option for you. And to the back row, Marcel Coetzee featured in the final against Leinster. Unfortunately lost 27-5, but he was his big bruising ball carrying himself. Sukumbuzo Nochi was outstanding for the Sharks this season. Liza Ankar, he's now back in South Africa, albeit with the Bulls. That's now the back row. And then to the scrum halves, adding to Herschel, Quibus, and Faf, we could have Ambrose Papiri back as well as Ima van Zyl. So that could be a bit of an opportunity for those guys, especially for Ambrose. He had a tough 2019 season with the Bulls, as well as with the Boks. He didn't feature at all, but because of the inconsistent selection at the Bulls on the Puerto Iman. 1 week the kid would play Super Rugby, next week he will be out of the squad or play Super Sport Challenge. He never knew where he was. So maybe it's a good redemption time for him. And at number 10, there's obviously Kevin Bosch is my first pick, to play number 10 for the Boks again. People always question his defense, but there's a lot of guys who has like a bit of a flaky defense at number 10, and the 12 just protects them. I know it's not the ideal way, but beggars can't be choosers right now. We don't have Pollard at the moment. Elton obviously is the front runner now. He has been a vice captain of the Boks as well. I think it was against Argentina in the last match they played in South Africa. So definitely Elton is a starter there and obviously a leader as well in that position. But guys like Kerwin is there. Who else can you think of? I wouldn't say Robert Dupre, to be honest. He's very much inconsistent. But there's other options as well. I haven't thought of Damon Willems obviously being in the World Cup squad. So I won't mention him now. But I think Kerwin is a very good returnee for the number 10 jersey. And then also rumor has it that Rowan Janssen van Rensburg could make a return as well, which I think is a good thing. We haven't had a lot of depth at centre as of late. We have great guys in Lucanio, who could be the captain as well, Jesse Creel and Damien, but we need more. We definitely need more centres. That's why I added Ruanel to the list as well. He has been involved in the Bok training camp before in 2018, so it's definitely not something that's out of reach. I haven't listed any wingers though. The other centre is Andre Esterhuizen, who's now at Harlequins. But I haven't listed any wingers, mainly because I think we have enough capable guys in that position. We have guys like Makazolo, Cheslin, Saboon Skosi, and there could be new caps dished out as well, who knows. But I think for now, we're definitely safe on the winger side. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And guys like Jesse Kriel can slot in on the wing. If Rowan Janssen van Rensburg does return, he can play there as well. It wouldn't be a first time. So there's definitely some options. Jason Kobe can slot in there. Valida Roo can slot in there. He made his debut, on the wing, on the right wing with Valida Roo. So it's not unfamiliar for him. So I think there we're pretty sorted. Even Damon the Island on a good day can play there, but preferably not. I prefer him in his big bulky number 12 role. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on who might be returning and who we might see in the championship. Let me know what you guys think of my selection, where I might have missed out. But yeah, that's basically what I think, and I'm looking forward to it. If it should happen or if it shouldn't happen, that the Boks are involved. I'm looking forward to seeing our local guys in action. I'm looking forward to some Curry Cup or Super Rugby, whatever it's going to be called. And I'm hoping that Uncle Cyril will sort us out and let us go to the stadium. Look, my last memory of Newlands isn't a pleasant one. We lost to the Blues. I'm talking out of my Stormer heart now. And I would love to leave on a bit of a happier note. So, yeah, let's hope for one last dance at Newlands. But, guys, thanks so much for tuning in again. I do appreciate it. I know I always say it and I sound like a broken record, but I do appreciate your support. Every view you guys give me, every like, every comment, every share, it is really appreciated. I'm just an ordinary guy who literally loves the game. You guys can see it in the back here. Okay, I love the drink as well, but that's not the point. But I just love the game. I love talking about it. I love being involved in it. And, I've never been a top tier sort of guy in playing or anything, but my love for the game is undyingly, and I just love to share my passion with you all. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this, what I'm doing now, eh? But guys, keep safe, keep well, and have a really good week. And let's hope for a very good Super Rugby AU final. I'll be covering it for Rugby 365 and the Rugby Pass this weekend. So if you guys can't catch it, you know where to go. That's your websites to go. It's the Brumbies up against the Reds. The Reds beating the Melbourne Rebels this weekend quite, I wouldn't say convincingly, but well enough to make the final. So definitely one to look forward to. And I have to admit, I've been bashing the Aussies for quite a while now, but I have to say that semi-final was quite entertaining, and a very good squad selection by Dave Reen as well, as his first selection of Wallaby coach. So yeah, I think the Aussies they'll be doing better. Honestly, I always joke about them, but I think they'll be doing better. They have a very good coach in Dave Rennie, won Super Rugby titles in 2012 and 2013 with the Chiefs. I think he's been involved with the All Blacks, briefly as well, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, he's really the right man for the job. I think. I hope so, because the last time they got a Kiwi in, it didn't work so well in Robbie Deans. This is the guy who won like almost 7 titles with the Crusaders at the point in time. But hey, guys, enough chatting on my side. I've been blabbering away for the last 2 or 3 minutes. So yeah, let me call it tonight, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.